Shalom, shalom, and welcome my viewer and my listener to Joyce aka Daughter of Zion YouTube channel. God bless you so much for having time to watch my videos, to listen to my songs. May God richly bless you. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Also, if you have subscribed to my channel, I say a big thank you. May God richly bless you. And if you have not subscribed, may I kindly request you to subscribe, and God bless you so much. So today, I want us to talk about the Sabbath. And the song that I have prayed, it is a verse from one of the songs that I did. Actually, the second song that I did, and which is talking about this the Sabbath, the commandment about the Sabbath. And so today I want us to talk about the Sabbath. Incidentally, today is a Sabbath day. Actually, maybe like a few hours before the Sabbath ends, because it's allowed 5 p.m. Using the East African clock, or the clock that people normally use. It is allowed 5 p.m. in the evening. So it's just a few hours or a few minutes before the Sabbath ends. So today I want us to talk about the Sabbath. And we shall read quite a number of scriptures as we look at the Sabbath, so that we get to understand what more about the Sabbath. And because I cannot exhaust everything that I would want to say about the Sabbath on this video, this will be part 1 about the Sabbath. And so I want us to read, but if you check the meaning of the Sabbath, Sabbath means rest. Yeah, Sabbath means rest. And I want us to start by reading the book of Exodus, chapter 20. We read verses 8 to 11. And it says, "Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant or maidservant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy." Let me repeat that last part of verses 11. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. So basically, my viewer and my listener, Sabbath is rest from all customary work. So after that, we ask ourselves, because now we have seen that on it you shall do no work. So here we are resting from all manner of work, all manner of customary work on the 7th day, the Sabbath day. So we ask ourselves, which is the Sabbath day, which is the Sabbath day. So, I want us to read from the book of Genesis, yeah? So that we get to know which is the Sabbath day. I want us to read from the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3 says, by the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So the Sabbath, the Sabbath day is the seventh day, when you ought to rest from all manner of work. Therefore, you see that there are many days in a week. The first day, the second day, the third day, up to the seventh day. But God blessed the seventh day, because on it he rested from all the work of creating which he was doing. And he did not bless the first day, the second day, or up to the sixth day. He blessed the seventh day. He blessed the seventh day. So, after that, we ask ourselves, which is the seventh day? Which is the seventh day? Now, from the, there are the days, we shall give them names, yeah? Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, all those days. You know them. You can name them up to the seventh day. So from the formal education, yeah, they have their names, and they are used in the calendars, yeah. So if you check from the calendar you have in your house, yeah, the Gregorian calendar, if you check the arrangement of the days, the first day of the week is Sunday. And the seventh day of the week is Saturday. The ones which use S, yeah, you find the first S is for Sunday, and the last S is for Saturday. So even those who arrange the calendar, because most calendars, that is the arrangement they give, they know the first day of the week is Sunday, and the seventh day of the week is Saturday, because we are looking at, we want to know which is the seventh day. So, one, if you can get a guide from the calendar for you to know which is the seventh day. Secondly, early formal education, the runners are taught the days of the week, and they start with Sunday, Monday, up to Saturday, the seventh day. And they do it like a song. Sunday, days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they go up to Saturday. That tells us that even those who teach, they know from the beginning a child is taught which is the seventh day. So if you ask a little child in the lower classes, PP1, PP2, those classes, if you ask, because they are taught the days of the week, the child will tell you from Sunday is the first day of the week. Try and ask a child which are to tell you the days of the week, and you'll be told very well. So that if you read from the book, from the Good News Bible, which we can read from the Good News Bible, I want us to read from the book of Luke, chapter 23. I'm reading, okay, from the Good News Bible. You can also confirm from the Good News Bible, Luke chapter 23. If you read verses 54. I'll read 54 to 56 from the Good News Bible, Luke chapter 23. It says, verses 54, it was Friday, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Get that one. It was Friday, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Now, the Sabbath was from Friday, we go to Saturday. So the women who had followed Jesus from Galilee went with Joseph and saw the tomb and how Jesus' body was placed in it. Then they went back home and prepared the spices and perfumes for the body. On the Sabbath, they rested as the law commanded. Remember, we said that Sabbath means rest. And what we learned from Exodus chapter 20 is that we are supposed to rest from all customary work. And here we are told that the women on the Sabbath, they rested as the law commanded. So on Sabbath, they rested. They did not go to church. On Sabbath, they did not go to apply the body of Jesus with the spices that they had prepared. On Friday, because the Sabbath was approaching. Remember what happened is that it was on a Friday and the Sabbath was approaching. So they have seen where the body of Jesus was kept. They went back. When they went home, they prepared the spices and to apply on the body of Jesus. But they could not go and apply now the body of Jesus because the Sabbath was approaching. So they didn't go on a Sabbath because on Sabbath they were supposed to rest. And that is why we are told that they rested as the law commanded. And if you read, you will find that now they went the following day very early in the morning going to apply the spices. That is when they found that the body was not there. Other translation says that, remember, I have read a Good News because it is speaking specifically saying it was on Friday. Other translations say that it was on a preparation day. And we have said that from Friday we go to Saturday. Therefore, from those texts, Sabbath is on Saturday. Friday is called the preparation day because it is the day one ought to prepare for the Sabbath. And we shall read from the book of Exodus. We read from the book of Exodus chapter 16. Exodus chapter 16. I told you, my viewer and my listener, that on this one, we are going to read several scriptures. So Exodus 16, I want us to read, let me read from verses 16, so that, because we have said that Friday is the preparation day, but you can read from verses 16. Okay, let me just read 16:16 of Exodus. I'll read it down once, yeah? This is what the Lord commanded. Each one is to gather as much as he needs. Take a norma for each person you have in your tent. The Israelites did as they were told. Some gathered much, some little. And when they measured it by the omer, he who had gathered much did not have too much, and he who gathered little did not have too little. Each one gathered as much as he needed. 19. Then Moses said to them, none is to keep any of it until morning. So, what is happening here? They are being given manna for a daily ration. Yeah? Each day with its own provision. So they are told that none is to keep until morning. So whatever you gather from the field, it will be enough, should be enough for that day, and you should not keep it until morning. For those who would like to say, let me keep it, I'll eat at night, or I'll eat the following day. No, they were told none is supposed to keep, because God usually provided them with manna enough, okay, every day, manna for every day. So, however, some of them paid no attention to Moses. They kept part of it until morning. So there are people who never listen. They were told very well, none of you should keep it until morning. But some still did that. Let's see what happened after they kept. But it was full of maggots and began to smell. So Moses was angry with them. So those who were cunning, those who decided to keep until morning, come morning, the manna had maggots, it was smelling. And Moses was angry because of them. Each morning, everyone gathered as much as he needed, and when the sun grew hot, it melted away. 22. On the sixth day, they gathered twice as much, 2 omers for each person, and the leaders of the community came and reported this to Moses. He said to them, this is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow is, remember now they are gathering on the 6th day. So tomorrow, after the 6th day is the 7th day. Tomorrow is to be the day of rest. Let us note very well. Tomorrow is to be the day of rest. A holy Sabbath to the Lord. So, bake what you want to bake and boil what you want to boil. Save whatever is left and keep it until morning. Now here they have been allowed. On those other days, they were told no one is to keep some until the following morning. But now, whatever they gathered on the 6th day, they gathered twice the portion. And they were told, what were they told? Prepare what you want to prepare. Boil what you want to boil. Bake what you want to bake. Eat, and whatever will remain, save whatever is left and keep it until morning. Remember, they had gathered manna for 2 days. This is on the 6th day. And they are told to prepare, to bake, to boil, and save whatever is left until morning. Now, that is why we said Friday, the 6th day, is called the preparation day. This is the day that one prepares, yeah? You prepare everything that you require for the Sabbath. Whether it is food, whether it is airtime, everything that you think that you will need to use on the Sabbath, you prepare it on the 6th day, which is the preparation day for the Sabbath. Because on Sabbath, it will be a day of rest. You will be resting, doing no customary work. And that is what they were told, yeah? Tomorrow is to be a day of rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. So bake what you want to bake, and boil what you want to boil. Save whatever is left, keep it until morning. 24. So they saved it until morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not stink or get maggots in it. So there before, these other days, those who kept until morning, come morning, the manna had maggots and it was smelling. But now whatever they kept on the 6th day, whatever they kept until morning, we are told that it did not smell and it did not have maggots. Save, okay. Eat it. This is verses 25. Eat it today, Moses said, because today is a Sabbath to the Lord. You will not find any of it in the ground today. What are they being told? Today, being a Sabbath, you eat what was left. What they kept is what they were told to eat. And they were told that on the 7th day, on the Sabbath day, they will not get any of it in the field, in the grounds. They will not get. Why? Because it was a Sabbath. Yeah? And even God was also resting. He was not in the business of giving manna. Yeah. So on the Sabbath, yeah, the 7th day, they were not to get any in the field. 26. 6 days you are to gather it, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath, there will not be any. Now, nevertheless, actually there are people who don't hear. Yeah? Nevertheless, some people went out on the 7th day to gather it, but they found none. Imagine. There before, when they were told not to gather and not to keep until morning, some decided to keep. It got maggots and it was smelling. So here they were told now that on the 7th day, they ought to be resting because they will not find it anywhere outside. But still some people decided to go out and look for manna, but they found none. Then the Lord said to Moses, how long will you refuse to keep my commands and my instructions? Meaning it is God who had instructed. Bear in mind that the Lord has given you the Sabbath. That is why on the 6th day, he gives you bread for 2 days. Everyone is to stay where he is on the 7th day. No one is to go out. So the people rested on the 7th day. We said Sabbath is resting from all customary work. So everyone is to stay where he is on the 7th day. They were not told to go gather in churches. They were told to rest where they were. So everyone is to stay where he is on the 7th day. No one is to go out. So the people rested on the 7th day. So they were instructions from the Lord. And here we are told that is why on the 6th day, he gives you bread for 2 days. So God gives us bread for 2 days on the 6th day. The bread for the 6th day and the bread for the Sabbath day. Why? If you read Exodus 35 here, let us read Exodus 35. If you read, let me read from verses 1. I will read verses 1 to 3. Moses assembled the whole Israelite community and said to them, these are the things the Lord has commanded you to do. So whatever we are reading is what God commanded. Verses 2. For 6 days work is to be done, but the 7th day shall be your holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. A Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whoever does any work on it must be put to death. Verses 3. Do not light a fire in your dwellings on the Sabbath day. That is why you are supposed to prepare the food you will use or eat during the Sabbath on Friday. Because you are not supposed to light a fire on the Sabbath day. Because it is a Sabbath of rest. And I want to read in Kikuyu that scripture. I want to read in Kikuyu. Exodus 35 verses, let me read verses 2 to 3. Exodus is Dhama in Kikuyu. 35, 2 to 3. Wĩra ũrĩa ũrutagwo mĩthenya 6, no rĩrĩ, mũthenya wa 7 mũtue mũthenya mwamũre, ũtuĩke thabatũ ya kũhurũka, o kũhurũka ki. That is what I wanted you to hear. O kũhurũka ki yamũrĩirwo Jehova. Mũndũ ona ũrĩkũ ũrĩa ũkaruta wĩra ona ũrĩkũ mũthenya ũcio nĩakoragwo. Mũtigakie mwaki ona atĩa mũthenya ũcio wa thabatũ kũndũ kũrĩa guothe mũtũrĩte. So, therefore, my viewer and my listener, Sabbath is rest, not worship. And where they have been told, where we have read Exodus 35, they are told not to light a fire. And that is why, if you go back in Exodus 16, they were told to bake whatever they want, to boil whatever they want, and to to use for on that day, the 6th day, and to keep whatever will remain until the morning of the Sabbath day, the 7th day. So they were to prepare themselves on the 6th day. That is why they are told on the 7th day it is a Sabbath, a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. So Sabbath is a holy day, a Sabbath of rest. So basically what we are seeing here, Sabbath is all about resting. Now, and we have seen that it is a Sabbath of rest, and Kikuyu has put it very well. Kohuroka ki. So Sabbath is rest, not worship. Yeah. Worship is a daily activity. We are supposed to worship God on daily basis through obedience to the law and to the testimony. But resting is only one day, the day that was ordained by our Maker, the 7th day. And we have seen which is the 7th day. Now, my viewer and my listener, one time I saw a comment from someone in another video, another person's video, and the person wrote in that comment that he had read the church fathers, and it is clear that the disciples met on the first day of the week, which is Sunday, and not on the 7th day of the week, which is Saturday. That is what the comment read, that he has led the church fathers, and it is clear that the disciples met on the first day of the week, which is Sunday, not the 7th day of the week, which is Saturday. I was like, wow, people have the truth. People have the truth right before their eyes. They know, but they are so blind, they cannot see. Because that person said the first day of the week, which is Sunday, and it is true, the first week of the week is Sunday, not the 7th day of the week, which is very true. And which day did God bless for the Sabbath? The 7th day. That is a comment I saw from a video, somebody's video, and somebody wrote that one in the comment section. I was like, God, people know the truth, because God blessed the 7th day. And now here, he is saying it very well, that he said it very well, the first day of the week, which is Sunday, at the disciples met, and he had read the church fathers. Yeah? Again, I ask myself, are we supposed to follow the church fathers or to follow what God commanded? I'm asking that so that somebody should not write for me in the comment section about the church fathers. That's why I've remembered that comment. We are supposed to follow what God commanded, not what the church fathers said, not what a mortal man said or says. Yeah. That is how people are lost. That is how people are lost. And the song that I did. rĩgĩtuĩka rĩa gũthomwo. Mũndũ ekaga ũrĩa ekwenda, ti ũrĩa Mũtũmbi athanire. Amwe wa mwambĩrĩrio na arĩa angĩ wa gatandatũ, nao awa mũgwanja mekaga ũrĩa o mekwenda. So ti ũrĩa Mũtũmbi athanire, andũ mekaga ũrĩa mekwenda. Like seriously? So please, we have said, we have read the scriptures that God blessed the seventh day, and we have seen which is the seventh day, and that viewer in that video also said it very well. So don't write for me in the comment section that we are supposed to meet in the first day of the week. No, it is not what the church fathers said. It is not what your pastor says. It is not what a mortal man says, but what God ordained, what God said, what God commanded. He commands us to rest on the seventh day. And the seventh day is on a Saturday. So, to avoid the video being too long, let this be part 1 of us looking about the Sabbath. Now, we shall, but before I end about the Sabbath, maybe we can look and we see now when the Sabbath ought to start and when the Sabbath should end. I think before we end part 1, we can also look at that, yeah? Remember, we are supposed to we are commanded to observe the Sabbath day, not the Sabbath hours. So, it ought to be a full day of 24 hours. So we ask ourselves, yeah, when does the day start? And if you read the book of Genesis, chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1, my viewer and my listener, let me read from verses 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning. So after evening is when the morning starts. So the day starts in the evening, that is after sunset. If we also read Leviticus 23:32, also says that if you can read from verses 26, but I only read verses 32. It is a Sabbath of rest for you. You must deny yourselves. From the evening of the 9th day of the month until the following evening, you are to observe your Sabbath. So the Sabbath starts from the evening of the 6th day. That is from the 6th day after sunset until the evening of the 7th day. That is when we are supposed to observe our Sabbath. And it is not Sabbath hours. It is Sabbath day. So don't tell me that you keep the Sabbath because you go to church for a few hours and continue to do your work. Resting, we are supposed to start resting from the evening of the 6th day. That is now after sunset of Friday until the sunset of Saturday. That is now when we are supposed to rest when we are supposed to observe the Sabbath, because it is the Sabbath day, not the Sabbath hours. Otherwise, this is part 1, my dear viewer, of the Sabbath. I will come back again with the part 2, and we continue to run about the Sabbath. Have a blessed time, and let me kindly request you, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I kindly request you to subscribe. It is a kind request, and may God richly bless you. And if you have not watched my songs so far, by the grace of God, I have done 3. So God bless you so much. Watch. I also invite you to watch my songs. While there, you can like, comment, and remember to subscribe. God bless you so much. Have a blessed time. Let's meet in part 2 as we continue to run about the Sabbath. Shalom, shalom.